And welcome, folks, to what is commonly known as the Augusta National of Motorsport, the beautiful Barber Motorsports Park here in Birmingham, Alabama. It has been a wild weekend so far as we welcome you to FS1 and to our warm-up show. Here's the highlights of the weekend so far, and it has been pretty interesting out on track, Townsend.
Two-time winner Scott McLaughlin getting it wrong there. On board here,
Joseph Newgarden and his teammate also having a little bit of an off of turn 9. These cars just not finding the grip as Rosenquist, once again in his crashiest circuit, takes a trip through the gravel.
He's had some big ones here. And how about Pato O'Ward in the final corner, all crossed up, hits that wet grass, and then just plows into the barrier. Driver's right. You would expect huge damage to his car, but in fact, very little. Marcus Ericsson, the biggest off of the weekend.
Yeah, lucky not to flip the car through the gravel there. We did have rain on Saturday, but it dried up just in time for qualifying, and the drivers were relieved with that.
Yeah, based on the issues that we saw in the wet, a lot of drivers relieved qualifying wasn't in the wet. Dixon, this was in qualifying, still having that issue, but no issues for this man, Alex Palou, with your P1 award.
So these are the drivers that we're watching out for today. Who chose Lundgaard?
I went with Lundgaard, and here's why. We are hearing that it's going to be a red tire race. Those Firestone alternates are going to be the preferred one. He has a little more red tire in his bank because of being 7th on the grid. He didn't have to use that extra new set in the Firestone Fast 6. So for me, 2 sets of sticker reds, that's going to put him in a prime position to move forward.
And I chose Rosenquist because starting 14th, that means he'll have 3 sets of brand new Firestone soft tires for the race. I agree with James. It's a red tire, a soft tire race. Rosenquist in great shape starting from 14th with that fresh tires. Why'd you pick Louis Foster?
I picked Louis Foster because for the second time this year, he transferred into the top 12 as a rookie. And if we look at how he raced here last year in Indy Next, he didn't get any practice time, didn't get any qualifying time in Indy Next, started last and made his way up to 6th. If anyone knows how to pass here, it's Louis Foster. This is how the championship looks right now. Alex Palou with 2 wins and a second, very much on top of the standings. But look behind him, Carl Kirkwood, Christian Lundgaard, Felix Rosenquist, Scott Dixon, all of them with tricky qualifying sessions yesterday. Dixon in particular starting all the way down in 26th place.
And you look down at 8th and 10th, you've got McLaughlin and Newgarden, and you do not see their Team Penske teammate Will Power, but he qualified inside the Fast 6. He knows how to win here at Barber. This could be the day that turns around Team Penske's 2025 season. They're off to a great start.
It really could be. Welcome to Barber Motorsports Park. Welcome to your warm-up show. Welcome to, well, it's kind of a bridge, isn't it?
It's Georgina's bridge, I believe.
It's Georgina's bridge.
Unofficially named after last year's happenings.
Interloper?
Yeah, let's call it that.
And she's still hanging strong.
She is.
A year later.
She's back, and we're back here, back to Racing Ways. Guys, May the 4th be with you. Star Wars Day, which is always good. Are you Star Wars fans?
I was when I was 10.
We had a whole debate in the car on the way in. As you know, Jack Harvey is a huge Star Wars fan. He was very upset with the lack of Star Wars knowledge that Townsend had.
He was devastated.
Okay.
He said, I believe his quote was, "It hurts me to my core." That you didn't know whatever the specific question was. So he takes it very personal.
Jack, down in pit lane, May the 4th be with you, my friend.
And also with you. Yeah, it did hurt me to my core, Townsend, honestly. I was so sad and disappointed.
I can hit you with Dukes of Hazzard, Knight Rider, Airwolf,
Top
Street
Gun.
Hawk, all kinds of trivia from the mid-'80s and meet you halfway.
Something like
Yeah,
that.
Karate Kid. How do you feel about the Karate Kid?
That was a little late in that era, but I like the Karate Kid. Yeah. Cobra Kai.
Jack, you're down there at Arrow McLaren. Who are you looking out for today, man?
Honestly, all of their cars. I'm trying to think the last time I saw 3 old teammates, 3 cars starting next to each other. Managed to chat to Will Anderson, Pato's race engineer. They thought they actually had a nice recovery after that off that he had just before qualifying. Every warm-up always has a very similar procedure. You go out, you try and check tire deg, you check fuel numbers. However, with a 2-stopper being an actual possibility today, they're taking this warm-up maybe a little bit more seriously than what they might do in other race weekends. So going to be looking out for the 5, and also going to be looking out for Scott Dixon. He feels like a car that is very out of place right now in his starting position.
Love that, mate. Thank you so much. The McLaren starting 6th, 7th, and 8th. Top qualifier for McLaren. Nolan Siegel, let's talk about him. What a great qualifying run yesterday.
This is the kind of performance that we've been talking about Nolan Siegel needing. A pop, a wow moment to justify his position, frankly, on that 3-car McLaren team. For every young driver, I think we could all point to a moment in our careers where we did something that mattered, that made a real difference, something of substance that kind of cemented ourselves in IndyCar. Maybe that's Nolan Siegel's performance this weekend. I was really impressed. When you watch his onboard, he was hustling the car in a way that he showed at St. Pete. Now he's got to convert, got to deliver the result today on a very physically demanding track. He's not the biggest guy in the field. It's going to be tough for him today to hang on.
Especially if they go with a 3-stop strategy. That's more flat-out running versus a 2-stop. But you got to remember, look, this is his 4th race here with McLaren this season. Yes, he did some IndyCar racing last year, but he didn't get to prepare for his IndyCar debut the way he would have liked. He was doing next, got thrown in mid-season. This is really the start. This is the reset. And like you say, 4th race to be out qualifying his teammates, that's huge.
None of us got a chance to prepare, though. We were all thrown in the deep end when we got our chance to do this. It's that kind of sport. You have to land on the tip of the needle early in your career, or else the questions start to develop and the team owners start to think about what's next. You know, is this the right guy for us next season? And Nolan Siegel's delivering at just the right time.
In particular, McLaren, we've seen them go through so many drivers over the last couple of seasons. Guys, listen, you've been talking about 2 stops, 3 stops. Obviously, if you're starting at the front, you want to try and make it a 2-stop race if you can. At what point does it flip to a 3? And which is the preferential strategy to be on?
Well, I think the 3-stoppers, at least those that think they're going to 3-stop today, will be watching the leader's pace. That's typically what you do. It gives you a chance to maybe bail out on your 3-stop strategy early if you think they're going to make it happen. Conversely, for the 2-stoppers that at least think they start the race with that mentality, they'll be watching the leader's pace as well and then make their decisions. So a lot of it comes off of feel, and this warm-up session tells you so much on how the tires to degrade. You got to go 30 laps, let's face it, on either the blacks or the reds to make a 2-stop work.
Mike Zhang's here with us. How are you, chap?
I'm great, man. Great to be here. Good to see you guys this year. Love being at this place.
It's beautiful.
It is. It's stunning. It just reminds me of an Augusta, I guess. I keep hearing that, and it's truly just walking out here to this stage and stuff, just the detail in the landscaping is really impressive, and we're happy to be here, obviously.
Good stuff, man.
We talk about cubic dollars in racing, certainly cubic dollars in track build here, no doubt, to produce this place. But cubic dollars on your race team, too. You told me a few years ago, hey, we have the resources to go compete now week in and week out. It seems like in this 2025 season, so far, you're in the hunt everywhere, every session. Is there anything different about this season over last that's delivered that?
We've had, it's funny. We got, lucky, skill to win the Indy 500 right away. And then that's been kind of a curse a little bit in some performance. We had a really tough 2023. We got better in 24, and now we're a step again better. It's just the constant work and pressure on myself, on the team, on the drivers, everything, on our technical arrangement, which we can talk about a little bit. It's been great so far this year. We're kind of schmedium this weekend, but not bad. So I look forward to seeing what happens in the race here today.
So, Mike, you talk about that technical partnership, so let's get into it.
Yeah.
A few years, you have that alliance with Andretti Global. You switched over to Ganassi now. What's been the biggest difference for you, and what are your drivers telling you is the biggest difference in that relationship change?
Great question. So the one thing I can tell you is Andretti was a great 5 years. We won the Indy 500. We had our first pole with them ever. And there's a lot of great stuff out of that. Switching over with Chip now, it's been great. It's a different, it's funny. We have a spec car. It's supposed to be a spec car, but you cannot believe how differently they're built. Car, team to team, right? We do what we do, and then we take bits of the people that we're with. It's almost like the perfect world. But we always try to want to technically be as close to their car build as our car build, just so we can compare, right? But I can tell you there's a reason Chip has won, was the 16 championships. They really they're very simplistic, very smart, very simplistic, do not overcomplicate anything. And, the other day we had a rain session. Alex Palou went out in the rain. He did one thing. He went like this with the front wing. Not springs, not camber, not right. He just went, boom.
And he was super quick. Yeah, he was quick by a mile.
So my point is the simplistic part of it is what kind of get them where they're at today, I think.
What's going to happen, though, if you guys get ahead of all 3 Ganassi drivers in the championship. It's not happened yet. Pallot's off to a pretty good start. What's that dynamic going to be like if you guys are routinely ahead of Chip?
I don't know that for sure, but I can tell you this. Chip and I talk every week. When we had a run there, early on when we out-qualified him a time or 2, he texted me right away. Mike Hall, Taylor, all those guys are just so good to deal with. They're happy for us, I think.
Obviously, you can have the car, but you need the drivers to deliver on race day and throughout the weekend. How impressed are you with both of the guys in your cars? We've been incredibly impressed with both of them. And speaking to them, they feel like podiums, like wins are not far away.
Well, let's talk about Felix first. We brought Felix in because I felt after 23, I just needed someone really fast. There was some question about his raceability and things why he got let go from McLaren, but from what I needed just a freaking fast guy, and he is that, right? And by the way, in 2024, we qualified, if you count the ovals, between 2 cars, we qualified in the top 6 15 times, up from 0 in 23. Okay, so it was a big gain in speed, and Sundays were a little tough, although they got better towards the end of 24. So this year, the focus has been on today, Sunday.
It feels like a red race coming today, especially with some cloud cover. Perfect conditions right now.
Perfect.
Ambient, it's go fast time. Felix Rosenqvist might not have qualified where you wanted him to, but he's got, what, 3 sets of sticker reds to run in the race.
He does.
That could be perfect for you guys.
The problem we're having with Felix right now is the black tire. The car wasn't happy at thermal on blacks, and it's not happy here on black tires. So fortunately, we're going to get him on and off of them as quick as we can. Conversely, the 66 car is fine on blacks. So we got some tuning to do. We just need them in the top 8. If I can get both those boys in the top 8 before the end of the day, we're pretty happy.
So, Mike, you talk about as a team, you found that kind of Saturday pace in 24, 25. The focus is the Sunday pace, today's pace. From a team owner's perspective, what are you telling the crew, and what are they actually focusing on? What are they doing in the offseason to try to improve Sunday?
It's a great point. It's all execution. Jim Meyer and I talk about this all the time. What do we need? Are we missing something? But honestly, it's execution. It's putting all the pit stops together, putting the preparation together. We had a problem with the nitrogen bottle for Marcus at Long Beach. Those little details will derail the whole thing, and we can't have that. It's on our side. We got to be better at that. So we'll work on it.
Elio Castroneves, month of May, it comes as a package. What did you see at the open test with him? What can we expect from Elio as he fights for 5 once again?
I got to tell you, on the second day we had dinner, he got into the wine a little bit, and he is so happy right now. Like, if you watched him in that last run, I think you guys were commenting, I was watching the same thing. He was playing around with some very fast people. He could move up, he could drift back, but the most important thing is he could run on their bumper, which we all know what that means at the end of the
How much has he helped the young guys, Armstrong and Rosenqvist, in terms of just understanding where to have the balance of your car and the controls for that final stint?
He's actually very helpful. I mean, he really is, and he's glad to help, especially with Marcus, who's still, he had a lot of speed, but where is he at in traffic in the line? He's a little, maybe a little hesitant, and Elio helps him with that, and Elio's happy to help him with that.
Talk to me about your partnership with SiriusXM. We know you bring a lot of bands to the track.
Yeah.
It seems like they're really part of the team.
We have a great relationship with SiriusXM. We have a great announcement coming up for the Indianapolis 500.
Let's do it right here.
I can't do it right here, but I can tell you it's right up my alley.
Okay.
I cannot wait. That part's good. We're going to have some more collaborations throughout the year. We got into these artist collaborations last year. It actually started 2 years ago with Carrie Underwood. She came out. She was a great participant. Last year, we had John Bon Jovi, Diplo, Eric Church. We've had a lot of great. It's just how we fold everything together. Obviously, they're a great partner with INDYCAR, with SiriusXM INDYCAR Racing on Sirius. So we're really proud to kind of keep that going and keep building on that momentum we have with them.